All right, it's finally time, and today I'm going to do the unboxing, tell you about some specs, and assemble the Meepo board Hurricane. Welcome to the Vapor Trail channel. I'm Tony, and in the past year, I've gotten really heavily into e-mobility. Anything that is a personal electronic vehicle, e-bikes, e-skateboards, e-scooters, which I don't have one of those yet, but I'm looking at a few of them. Anything that will get me to where I'm going without gas. I was already interested in them, but a big catalyst for it was, well, we had a gas shortage here on the East Coast because there was a hack on the pipeline and we couldn't get gas for like a week. And I was going, man, I just wish I had anything that was electric to get me where I want to go. I really don't like being a slave to gas, but the other side of that is that these things are a lot of fun. Now here on the channel, I have shown you this before. This is the Meepo board Mini V2. I got this one as a refurbished one. I got a great deal on it. I think it was under 300 bucks. It's got a kicktail on it. It's small, but this thing, man, it's a little bit hairy. It's a little torquey. If you're not used to a board that's just gonna zoop, take off on you, you might want to be a little bit careful. Write it in the first mode. It does have 4 modes and stuff like that, but that was my introduction to Meepo. It's a very solid board. For me personally though, I prefer a long board. I like to be able to carve double kingpin trucks, and always good to have more stability. Plus, I live at the beach on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and it's kind of rural here, so not all of our roads are super smooth. There's not a lot of places to ride if you need to have a super smooth board with street wheels on it, so having an all-terrain board gives me a little bit more freedom to go where I want to go. One thing I want to point out right off the bat is that they went to great lengths to make the box smaller so that it would reduce shipping costs and all of that kind of stuff. So the wheels are not on the board, so there's a little bit of assembly to do. Usually when you get one of these electric skateboards, everything's assembled. All you gotta do is plug it in and charge it and go. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox this. We'll assemble it and give you some specs along the way. And then of course I'll make some more content with it as we go along. All right, so first thing we gotta do is cut this open. Back up here. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so first thing we're going to notice here at the top, they do give you a quick start guide. Charge your Meepo board and remote, uncover the charging port of the board and connect the charger. 2, wear your helmet. That should be number 1 if you're riding it. 3, adjust the trucks. You want to stand on the board and lean from side to side, then get your skate tool and fasten or loosen the kingpin. You just want to make sure that it's all set for you before you get going. 4, play with the remote. Yeah, you want to understand how the remote works. And then go for it. Go for your first ride. And a little bit of a diagram over here. Take off this foam right here. Got one foam on the top. Oh man, that is nice. Now, when I got mine, they did ask me what I wanted on the plate up here, okay? Because you can get yours customized. Mine, I've chose the number 23. It's a mystical number. And then my initials on there, TB. So yeah, right off the bat, you're gonna notice that the wheels are not on the board. We've got your street wheels here, and I can feel that already. They are pretty soft. So I've got some notes here. The wheels that you get here, you're gonna get a set of 4 155 millimeter pneumatic tires with Meepo custom treads on them, and 90 millimeter 70A durometer. They're pretty soft on those. That's the orange for the street wheels. All right, first thing, we've got this here. These are, we've got some little Meepo rubber wristbands if you're into that kind of thing. Now, I will say that this box does have a handle on it, but I mean, it's a plastic handle, and this thing is not lightweight, dude. I'm gonna tell you, when I got the box, I was like, woo, that is a heavy box. I want to say it's around 40 pounds, something like that, 38 pounds. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and lift this board out of here. Ooh, that is not a lightweight piece right there. Okay. Now, I have another all-terrain board. It is the Lycon TRX. Already, this thing looks a lot more sturdy than the TRX. So you can see that your pulleys and your belts and everything are already on the board. All you're gonna have to do is put your wheels on. That's pretty much the only assembly you're gonna do. Now, this is the 2-in-1 version of it. I think they might have an all-terrain only version of it. And if you do get that one, then you'll also get the pulleys for the street wheels, just in case you decide you want to put street wheels on it later on. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that the Lycon board, the TRX, it's pretty much flat. I mean, it does have a little bit of a concave to it, but man, this thing definitely has the W concave to it. Curves up on the sides, and then it's got a bump in the middle, so it's kind of like a W. Man, that's really going to grip the feet. I'm liking that. And this block right here, these are your street wheels. And they are of good size, man. I mean, and the pliability of them, I don't know if you can really see that, but they flex quite a bit. That's pretty nice for a street wheel. I'm gonna leave those in there because we're gonna put the all-terrain wheels on here. We've got a little bag right here, and inside of this bag, we have got extra inner tubes, which is good because I'll tell you what, you know, I've got an electric bike and I've been riding that around. I've already gotten a flat on that, so that's kind of a bummer. I was like, now I gotta go get tubes and all that. So I didn't realize that they put extra tubes in here. That is a nice touch. Okay, then there's another foam in here. We'll just put that one aside. As you can see, we've got our all-terrain tires inside of here. There is a Meepo skate tool in here. But you know what? I've got my own. I like the independent skate tool. It's a little bit slimmer down here at the bottom, and it's really solid, made of metal. There's extra belts in here, extra pulleys, and let's see, these are actually covers for your belts on the back of the board. They're for the 90mm wheels only, which are these right here. And that's what it looks like all together inside of the box. It's man, it's a nice, tidy, clean little package. All right, so the charger, this is kind of a big deal too, because, you know, a lot of times these companies will say, well, our board can charge this fast or whatever, but then it doesn't come with the fast charger. Well, this is the fast charger. This is a 6.5 amp charger. It's supposed to fully charge the board in 3 hours. And they claim that it may be the fastest charger for a production board. At least it's included, right? And then we've got a USB inside of here. It is a USB, standard mini USB. This is a heavy duty charger. You can see that we've got a cuff that screws on and everything. Nice. There is a manual inside of the package, so that's good. Now on this board, we do have a plastic cover on here. You want to remove that. There's just something so satisfying about ripping off these protective covers. It's really on there too. Now the board is made of carbon fiber. It's a full carbon fiber deck with T700 3K twill, super sturdy, and Kieran, in his video where he did the unboxing for this, even showed that they did a test driving an electric car over it, a full-size car over the board, and the board was perfectly fine afterwards. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this out here. It says on here the max load is 300 pounds. Yeah, you have to take it off here because that's the heat sink that's right here. So down here on the bottom of the board, we've got where it shows you where to plug in and your power right there. And just looking at it right off the bat, all of your cables have these nice coverings on them and everything else, so that's really cool. It's like a braided cover that's on there. And I will say that when I took that cover off of here, there is a little bit of stickiness that's left on the board itself. Hopefully I can clean that off. But yeah, man, this is nice. It's very heavy because there's a lot of batteries in here. Speaking of the batteries, let me tell you about that. The battery pack in here is configured as 12S4P Mollicell P42A. It's the best cell for a 4P arrangement at this time at 726 watt hour. It is a huge battery in this thing, especially for a production board. It's going to give you long range, and it's actually got its own housing. It's housed in an aluminum casing, which is one of the reasons why they could drive a car over it and have it still survive. So yeah, we've got your extra pulleys inside of here in case you want to use your street wheels. And I'm gonna have to look and see what these are supposed to be inflated at, but that's a good, sturdy, big size tire right there, boy. And they feel like they're already inflated. It's supposed to inflate to 50 PSI. And then last but not least, we have the remote. And the remote, it looks just like the remote that I have for my Mini V2. They say the ESC in this is a Ling Yi used in FOC mode. That's why they call it the LYFOC, to make control of the board very smooth. They do warn you that the 4th speed mode on this is tuned to 80 amps continuous power, which, as they say, makes it very hard to tame. I don't know if I'll be in that mode. I mean, even in my other boards, especially the Meepo Mini 2, I never go over 2 or 3. Think of it like gears in your car. Got a crescent wrench in here, as well as a couple of Allen wrenches. There we go, crescent wrench and some Allen wrenches. And there are also some screws in here. Now, one thing that is nice about this, and we'll show you in just a minute, is that you can actually take this thing apart right from the top. And if you need to service it or anything like that, super easy, or at least super accessible. On some boards, you gotta cut the grip tape open, you know, cut it around the screws, or you might have to actually remove the grip tape just to get inside. This one, you don't have to do that. There is a warning card in here. It says, whenever you ride a Meepo board, you risk death or serious injury from loss of control, collision, and falls. To ride safely, you must read and follow the instructions and warnings in the manual, and they give you a website for that. Always wear a helmet when riding. Avoid obstacles and slippery or uneven surfaces that could result in a loss of balance or traction. and cause a fall. And it looks like I'll be able to get this stuff off of here, the residue from that cover that's on there. I mean, it's a fully carbon fiber board. I can see why they wanted to protect it in shipping. So I'll just have to do a little bit of work on that. Because it's carbon fiber, I'd be real careful about what kind of cleaning stuff you might use to get that off there. It looks like I can just kind of rub it right off of there. I would like to point out that the valve stems on these are metal and they protrude just enough to be able to get your pump on there if you need to. So for this next step, you're just gonna need your skate tool, and the nuts are already on there. All right, so this is my first attempt at this, so I guess we just put that on. There we go, slides right on there. Your belts are already on, so that's good. Let's go ahead and put this on here. Now I will tell you that there's a spacer between your bearings in here. You just want to make sure that that spacer is in the right position before you try to slide it on there. We'll just tighten them on. You'll know when they get secure. Kind of hits the bottom down there. You don't want to tighten them up too much, but you do want to make sure they're tightened enough. There we go. And the back side of your wheel for the back here will lock right onto those pulleys. Of course, the front one's going to be a little bit easier. And one thing that's nice about this independent skate tool is that it's made so that it won't put too much pressure on your bearings. It's got a little flare out there. But it does come with a skate tool inside the package. I want to say I paid like 10 bucks for this one. Only one more. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the button to turn it on. Turn on the remote. And it's already set up for miles and miles per hour, which I think is great. Sometimes they're not set up that way. Ooh, boy, I can tell you that's some torque on there, man. That's only speed 2 right there. Let's see this. Speed 3. Man, she is a screamer. Let's see speed 4. Dude, I don't think I'll ever get to speed 4 on this thing. So speed 1, that's one we haven't seen. That's a little mellow for me. I think speed 2 or 3 is probably going to be where we're going to be at. Now looking at the odometer on here, it looks like we've already got 22 miles on it. Maybe that's testing that they do in their factory, but the board is brand new. That doesn't look like anybody's ever ridden it before. The screen might look a little funky on here. That's just the camera with the rolling shutter. It looks very solid in person. You can see remote is right there with the R. The B is for the board. Those are your battery meters. You hit this button right here and it goes to the next speed. And it does give you some haptic response on the remote itself. It vibrates. Speed 3, speed 4, speed 1. So if you go like this, you're going forward, and if you go like that, it's braking. It's pretty simple if you're unfamiliar with these boards. If you're unfamiliar with these boards, this one might be a little bit much to handle, but I always look at it like if I think I'm gonna be getting into this, I might as well buy as much board as I can the first time so I don't end up having to buy 5 or 6 boards before I find the one that I like. Now, if you want to change the braking mode, you just press the brake down like that and hit the function button, and it changes the braking for you. And not that you're going to use it a lot, but if you wanted to go into reverse, you just hit the power button twice, 1, 2, and now it's showing you reverse, 1, 2, and back to forward. It's a very intuitive remote. It's very comfortable. You got the lanyard. You always want to put that around your wrist for sure. Not that you're going to need it, but there is an arrow that's pointing which way is forward. Look at that deck, man. See, now this is what I'm talking about. You can easily disassemble this just by taking out all of the screws. This top part comes out of here and you have access to the ESC and the battery pack. The motors on this are 6374 3500 watt brushless sensored motors, and they guarantee that these will never overheat. And it also comes with the bash guard on there, which, you know, I think that's important. For me anyways, it is. My sincere apologies on this. My audio is bad. My microphone got jacked up this morning, but I really wanted to get this thing filmed because you get anxious, man. You know, if you got a YouTube channel like this and, you know, you got to do an unboxing video for it before you can ride it, you just got to get it done, man. So I'm going to get as much writing in on this as possible, and I will give you some content here on the channel with it, give you more solid impressions after I've had a chance to use it and figure out whether I need to balance these wheels or anything like that. But man, this is a solid board. It is not a lightweight board. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not something you're going to want to be carrying around a lot. It's more for riding than it is for carrying, that's for sure. But I am super, super excited about this, and thank you, Meepo. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, it's not the only thing this channel covers, but I'm trying to cover more and more of it. You'll find an emobility playlist here. I'm going to actually put a link down there for that. I've got a whole bunch more stuff planned for this genre on the channel, including I've got a armored hoodie that I picked up off of Amazon that I'm gonna have to wear sometimes when it gets cold out here. This thing is nice, man. It's got pads built into the inside of the elbows, the shoulders, and a big back plate, so that's nice. Pads and gear and stuff that I plan on showing you here on the channel. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it all. I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, always very important to the channel. So if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, there is a red subscribe button down there. If you click that and the notification bell, well, you get notifications when I upload new videos to the channel. There's also links down there for my social media, so if you got one of those, I'd appreciate a follow. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.